Well, good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to Saturday Night Live with me. Yes, I'm here with you to see out old Saturday and to welcome in Sunday and all the joy that that brings. Oh, there you go, feature number one. What describe your favourite Sunday? And I don't mean some fantasy Sunday that would never happen in real life. I mean, you know within reason, like Sundays that you've actually had, describe your perfect Sunday. Mine would be, oh, I'll tell you that later. How are you, darlings? How's your day been? What have you been up to? What have you been eating? How are you feeling today? What sort of a day has it been for you? A good day, a bad day, a meh day? Share it with us all. Oh, a hidden comment already. Oh, it's from the M11. We'll show that and I'll get to it in due course. Now then, first cab off the rank tonight is Peter P, who says, good evening, Boaty and Boggs. Good evening to you, Peter. Jimmy Quinn is right in his coattails. Good evening, Boaty and all. Steve KG, good evening all. Peter and Jimmy, I'm going to have a swig of this. I've deserved it. It's 33 minutes past 11, darlings. It's time I had a drop of adult beverage. Well, I should cocoa. You're very good health, by the way. Oh, I'm going to enjoy the feeling of that going down. There it goes. It's about here. Heading down, heading down. Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, my goodness me. Is it me or is it a bit cold? It's not me. It's a bit cold. What's the heat? Oh, dear. I'm tempted to put the heating on for 10 minutes or at least twink it. It's off at the moment. Well, the doings, the what's it called? The thermostat is digitally set to 16 degrees. Am I? Oh no, no. I mean, it's bloody June. We shouldn't be having to have the heating on in June, should we? I'm going to tough it out like a man, probably. Where did I get to? Steve KG says, good evening all, Peter and Jimmy. And he hopes that people are having a good weekend, which is kind. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here and says, all the well, Boaty. All is well, Lord Stiff Upper Lip, assuming that's what you mean. Hello to you. The lovely Sarah Parsons is right in our midst. Evening, Jason and all. Good evening to you, my lovely. Andrew, I can't believe it's not Butty Geek is here. A very good evening, Boaty and everyone in chat. Hello, Ivor, Spotty Butty. Barry is here, that guy from SETI Alpha 5. Good evening, all. Boaty, do you have to be so bloody noisy, says Barry Scrotter, who was also with us. Oh, wait, sorry, I have my headphones in. My mistake. I started quite quietly tonight, I'll have you know. Name Me -1 is here. Hi all, it's been a long day, but I wanted to say hi in person rather than 4 hours before the live. Have a good night all. Sleep well, Name Me -1. Have a great day tomorrow. And here we are, the M11 with the comment that was hidden, but I showed it. Oh yeah, I'm like that. I'm the kind of chap who will show a comment that YouTube don't think you ought to see. Huh. We poo-poo YouTube's recommendations, or well, we do until they remonetize me anyway, and then I'll be a good boy and toe the line and do what I'm told. Thank you, YouTube. Yes. Where was I? Oh yeah, M11. Hey all, what have you all been up to this Saturday evening? I've just arrived home, slid into bed, And I now await excitement and stimulation from Boaty. Yeah, well, bloody good luck with that. Oh, Denise7, the lovely Denise7 is here. Good evening to Boaty and all. Hope you all have a great weekend. That's very kind. Oh, and Emmels and the Emmelums goes on to say, oh, and may I extend my damp and tingly greetings to you also, Boaty. Hope your day has been nothing less than sheer joy. There has been a bit of joy in my day, I must admit. I'm not sure if I would describe it as sheer joy, but there has been a bit of joy. Oh, Sarah Parsons been for a drive out, a walk, and a pub lunch. Oh, that sounds good. What did you have? What did you have, Sarah? Oh, a nice pub lunch. Oh, weird thing, isn't it? You can have something in a pub in a nice atmosphere that you could easily cook yourself, and yet it tastes better in the pub. I haven't had a pub lunch for ages. When did I last have a pub lunch? Let's think. I can't remember when I last had a pub lunch. Gosh, it could have been my last pub lunch. Could have been with James JM on Cars and Mustard, of course, and that's going right back to 2nd of January, I think it was. But let us know what you had, Sarah. And feature number 2, everybody, what is your favourite pub lunch? Or what's your favourite lunch from your local pub? Put it that way. Steve KG says, today has been very good for me. I'm delighted to hear it. Barry says, the Peak District Viking said he got a copy of my book. So if anyone ordered one, you should be getting it soon. Ah, exciting. Oh, and by the way, says Barry Scrotter, I'm fucking wrecked. Oh, and not in a good way. Oh, I thought you meant you were pissed. Oh, dear. Father-in-law is dying. It's had a big effect on me. My wife is putting on a brave face. I'm shutting down. It brings back my father's death. Oh, mate. Mate, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In the midst of life, we are in debt and in death, aren't we? It's all around us, and God knows it's not easy. Steve KG has been sorting out the garage and shifting his cars around. Ross is here, Dino Dad. Here we are again, Sunday morning, up for work. On a Sunday, you working on the Sabbath, Ross? Pissing down. Back home, kettle on and a Boaty live. Oh, excellent. There we are. Every day is a Groundhog Day for me, says Jimmy Quinn. Oh, Barry Scrott, it's having an effect on the kids. I dare say I'll stay strong during daylight hours. Oh, yeah, mate. Well, you're amongst friends here, aren't you? And if you need to let anything out, let it out here with us. Most of us, if not all of us, will have been through what you're going through. God knows I have on far too many occasions. If you need to scream and shout or rant or whatever, we're all here for you, mate. We all feel your pain, and anything we can do. Oh, it's hard, isn't it? Steve KG says, what book, please, Barry? Have you got a link? Cheers. And it is cold at night, says Barry. Right, well, now somebody else thinks it's cold at night. I'm putting the fucking heating on, sod it. Ah, right, yeah. The thermostat was right down on 16 degrees. Now, that might be comfortable for some people. Not for me, darlings. Not after a night at work. And especially not when I clamber into my night attire after the live stream. Sod it. We'll have a little burst of warmth. We'll go mad. I'll only have it on for Well, probably not even the duration of the live stream. Just have it on for half an hour. Bloody headache last couple of days, says Irish Spotty Botty, and threw up earlier watching Mustard's live. Perfectly understandable. They're so awful. I feel like vomiting myself when I watch them. Oh, sorry. And open brackets, completely Mustard's fault. Close brackets. Yeah, I agree. I agree. People are saying hello to Emma. Oh, bloody hell, Paul. Good evening, Boaty and all. I didn't expect to see you. I did not expect to see you. You must be hanging on to consciousness by a thread. You must be knackered, dear boy. Not to mention a few glasses of Chablis and a couple of and a bottle or two of Gurkha beer rattling about inside you. Good for you for hanging on till now, at least. I don't expect to say good night to you. I'm sure you'll be gone far before that. But well done, sir. Sterling effort. Oh dear. Oh dear. Boaty says, Ross, Dino Dad, there was no garlic or ginger in your chow mein video. Well, no, there wasn't, because I was trying to do an authentic takeaway style chow mein on that occasion. Now, when I cook my own noodles, then garlic and ginger tend to play quite a part. But no, that was a traditional UK restaurant stroke takeaway chow mein recipe, and it really is that simple. The only things going in there are light soy, dark soy, tiny little bit of oyster sauce, a bit of Chinese salt, bit of normal salt, bit of pepper if you fancy it, and that is pretty much it. I mean, in fairness, I was cheating and I was using marinated meat. So the meat would have been marinated in garlic and ginger. So there was some garlic and ginger in there, kind of. But no, that is authentic. Well, yeah, I mean, it's authentic UK restaurant takeaway chow mein. That really is all there is to it. Oh, I did cheat a bit though, didn't I? I put in. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, well, it wasn't totally authentic, was it? I forgot. I completely forgot I cheated. Because I did put chili in there, didn't I? And turmeric and ground coriander and hot paprika. All right, I cheated. But you've got to have a bit of spice, haven't you? Now, when I used to order chow mein from my lovely Chinese friends who have their little takeaway tucked away in the back of Dainsmore on the outskirts of Clay Cross, I always used to ask for it spicy. So I'm not totally cheating. Well, I am cheating a bit. Well, I don't care. I mean, if you just left out the stuff I put in at the beginning, that would be authentic. I've got to have some spice. I can't do bland. Oh. No, that's my ideal Sunday, says Sarah Parsons. Oh, sorry, I see. Oh, right. I thought you were telling me what you'd done today. No. So Sarah's ideal Sunday was a drive out, a walk out, and a pub lunch. Oh no, I'm not sure if that would be mine. I equate Sunday lunch with being at home or with being at somebody's home because, and maybe you'll agree with me. Feature 3. Have you ever had a Sunday lunch anywhere that's better than the Sunday lunch that you have at home, or that you cook, or that your wife cooks, or that your parents or grandparents used to cook? Now, I never have. I've eaten Sunday lunch in Michelin-starred restaurants, and they were, as you would expect, they were absolutely superb. I've also eaten Sunday lunch at dreadful places like Toby Carvery's, where it was, quite frankly, disgusting, abysmal, horrendous, horrific, atrocious, etc., etc., etc. I've even, darlings, had Sunday lunch at the Cosy Caff on the Lytham Road in Blackpool. The only place I've ever known in adult life that was an establishment, a professional catering establishment that sold school meals, as far as I could tell. You sat there. I loved this place. It was my favourite place in the world. I've carried their business card for, I don't know, certainly 30 years, possibly maybe 31 or 32. And it was the Cosy Caff, 134 Lytham Road, Blackpool. Haven't been there for years and years and years. But I loved it. It was brilliant. It was not right on the front on Blackpool, a road or two back, more in the towny bit than in the seafronty bit. And it was like a local cafe for local people. And it was brilliant. You went in and it was proper old school. You had your school plates, your school dinner plates, your school dinner cutlery. So, wouldn't matter if you stole it. It cost, you get 10 forks for half a penny or something. If you ordered a Kirk or a Coke or a cake, then that came, you got your can with a glass turned upside down on top of the can. How brilliant is that? How brilliant is that? And when you ordered Sunday lunch, it was it was that I ordered a beef Sunday lunch there once, and it was that sliced beef, sliced like with a really thin ham slicer, clearly manufactured, not real beef, in that watery school gravy with lumpy mashed potato and overcooked vegetables. It was wonderful. It was like being back at school. It was tremendous. And the thing I loved about that place most, we went in there by accident one day. Oh, very early days. I think it was me and Donna, fiance number one, possibly with my mum. And we'd have been on a day trip or an overnight or something, a jolly of some sort. And we ended up in there. And the thing that I fell in love about it, I'm a massive people watcher, darlings. And I love anywhere where you can do people watching. Airports are great for that. Train stations, I apologize. But I remember this. I remember that first time in there. And you had all of the locals, and they were quite elderly. It was a place that catered to the elderly, They were cheap enough that the elderly would go in there and eat rather than cooking for themselves. I almost said cooking themselves, but that sounds weird and German. They weren't cooking themselves, they were cooking for themselves. But they would go in there and eat instead. And it was warm, and they'd stay in there for ages and have a cup of tea, wear a flat cap, possibly a Macintosh. And I just loved listening to them. I loved listening to them. And we were sitting next door to a table of two elderly couples. And they were I'll never forget this. They were talking about a new ride on one of the piers. Wasn't really a ride. It was one of those, one of those elasticated swing things when you get strapped into a harness and then you go on a bit. You remember the things that they're probably still about. This was when they were brand new, and I was listening to them. Have you heard about new thing on Central Pier? No, what's that? Well, it's this catapult contraption. They get the victim, and they strap them into this bloody thing. Strap them in, they do, down round their legs, round the body, strap them right in, like they're strapping them into electric chair, and then they pull the bloody catapult thing back, and they throw them into bloody sea. I thought, I love this. And I fell in love with the place. And whenever we went to Blackpool, which was quite often back then, because, partly because Blackpool is so deliciously vulgar, and partly because of the roller coasters. I'm a roller coaster freak, and Blackpool is the roller coaster capital of certainly the UK, if not Europe, and historical roller coasters as well. And we always used to go there. And my dearest wish for many years was that if and when I got married, I wanted to have my reception at the Cosy Caff at number 134 Lytham Road, Blackpool. It was a massive dream and aspiration of mine, and I clung on to it. Now, when I finally did get married, which was on my 36th birthday, to be precise, the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty, who, and I've told you this before, said, "I've been married before. I've had my day. You've never been married. Let's make this about you. You do, we will do what you want." And I thought, oh, God love you, darling. You're a wonderful woman. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm not going to be chivalrous and say, well, no, you haven't had your day with me. You've had a day with somebody else. And you haven't had your day with me. You're my wife. You're my woman. Well, you're going to be my wife, I would have said at the time. And I want it to be a special day for you. We will do everything that you want. No, I didn't say that at all. I said, oh, right. Thanks, darling. Well, in that case, and I think my idea was that we would get married in Vegas and that we would come back and we would have the reception at the Cosy Caff at 134 Lytham Road, Blackpool. And it was around at that point where Mrs. Boaty's protestation of "we'll do whatever I want" turned out to be somewhat factually incorrect. And what she meant by that was "we will do whatever you want, I've had my day," was I'm going to have another day, and it would be nice if you agreed that absolutely everything that I want, you would like too. And that's what ended up, oh, and you can pay for it. And that's kind of what ended up happening. All the things I swore I'd never do, I did. The one thing I swore I would never do is have a massive reception. Now, I didn't mind the wedding breakfast, nearest and dearest and the in-laws, that's just a given. Can't do anything about that. And I didn't mind paying for a nice meal for them, the inner scrotum, as it were. But I always said I'd never have a huge reception where you paid money for a load of people that you barely knew, or if you did know, you probably didn't like them, to eat. So I said, and I remember saying to Max, I said, Sodom, we will have a reception without food. And there will be no free drinks, no free bar. We'll have a big old party. People can pay for their own drinks and they can get a kebab on the way home. And I will do exactly the same. She said. And then she went off. And I kind of shot myself in the foot because at the time that we were doing this, at the time that we got engaged and we were arranging the marriage and everything, and the wedding and all of that sort of thing, I was rather busy. I was balls deep in negotiating a kind of buyout of the company, the car company. At that point, I was managing director, I was CEO, all of that sort of crap. But what I was doing was that I was buying the major shareholding, quite a lot of money involved. And that was what I was doing. And, there was loads of stuff, legal stuff, solicitors, this, that, and the other. And I was balls deep in that. So I left all of the wedding stuff to Mags, didn't I? And so, of course, she just did whatever she bloody wanted to do, didn't she? I mean, the only thing I got was that, look, if we can't just bugger off to Vegas and do it quietly, then there's got to be some Michelin stars involved where we get married. I'm not doing the weddingy thing in a non-Michelin starred place. So I got that. God knows it cost me 40,000 quid. But I got my Michelin starred wedding place. Totally lost on the reception. We had a huge reception, hundreds of people, and they had like the most expensive buffet in the history of the world. All hot stuff, all specially, oh God, Cost a bloody fortune. And I'm looking around at all of these people that I don't know who are eating food that I've paid for. And I'm thinking, who the fuck are you? And you'd better have left us a good present. Oh, dear. Oh, and the other thing I got, which I've told you a million times before, is that I didn't have anybody else singing the first song. I did a lot of the entertainment at the reception myself with my old cabaret colleagues. Didn't pay for it. They did it as their wedding present to me. So I got my thing. I didn't pay for any entertainment at my own wedding, which would have been so weird. You know, I was the entertainment at hundreds of bloody weddings. It would have been really weird to pay somebody else to entertain me at my own. And as I've told you before, our first dance, I sang it myself using a head mic. But I didn't get my reception at the Cosy Caff at 134 Lytham Road, Blackpool. Gutted about that. I wonder if it's still there. I might go to Blackpool on Monday and have a look. Now then. Oh, and if you'd like to order Barry's book, there is a discount code, pre-order 2024. Oh, Trisha is here, the lovely Trisha Alderman. Hi, Jason and all in chat. How's your tuss been today, Jason? Still there, still painful, still a pain in the ass, but, you know, either it's become a little bit more manageable or I'm just getting used to it. It's a pain in the bum. It's a constant discomfort at the very least, but hey-ho, won't last forever. Who's going out at this time of night? Oh, my next door neighbours but one on that side. They do some funny things, including complaining about my house. The young boyfriend of the daughter, he was walking past my back door today carrying a cage full of ducklings, which was just the cutest things ever. And I stopped and talked to him, never spoken to him before. And I didn't say, "Oi, bozo, if you park your bloody big stupid truck outside my front door again, I'm going to sit on your head." I just said, "Oh, how cute are they? They're beautiful. What you doing with them?" And blah, blah, blah. There's other stuff that happened in the garden as well today that I need to talk to you about. Oh, the Cosy Caff. COSYCAFF. Oh, I must still have that business card somewhere. I hope I haven't lost it in the divorce and over the years and whatnot, because I had that for a long time. I picked it up on that very first visit. But I remember it, the Cosy Caff, Lytham Road. Oh, if it's still there, I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to go for a lunch there. And Matron, says the M11, is off on holiday for a week now, in case anybody wonders where she is. And Jimmy may have killed her off with his predictions. Oh, she thinks Jimmy may have killed her off with his predictions. His predictions were a bit harsh, weren't they? I felt that, especially as I'm kind of the same age as Matron. I think I'm a year younger, or 2, or 10. I'm not a pub type, says Andrew. I'm kind of not really, to be fair. My favourite pub lunch is gammon, says Sarah. Oh, and Barry says, yeah, I am pissed as well, to be fair. Matron's gone off on one, says Peter P. Jimmy Quinn also doesn't do a pub lunch. I'm not a pub person, but a pub lunch, that's a different thing. I like a pub lunch. I really do. I like everything about it. I like the theatre. Pub lunch, says the M11. I often like Hunter's chicken. I also haven't had one for a long time, though, I don't think. Oh, well, maybe we could have one on the Wales thing. Maybe we could find a nice pub lunch to have. Because the cooking idea, I think it's going to take too much out of the day, to be honest. we need to, it's going to take up a load of time doing something that we could almost do anywhere. And I think the time would be better used. I can't remember what time your train is on the Tuesday, but if there's time, we could go and do a Land Rover lunch at my favourite spot here and do some outdoor cooking then. And that would be another video, extra content, all of that sort of thing, making good use of the time. Making good use of the things that we find, things that the everyday folk leave behind. Uncle Bulgaria, he can remember the times that he wasn't behind the times. With his map of the world, I have to get down and register now. Pick up the papers and take them to Tobermory. All together now. Underground, overground, wombling free. The wombles of Wimbledon, common are we. More on that story later. What the hell was I talking about? Why am I suddenly talking about the Wimbles of Wimbledon? God, I'm a strange man. No, not a clue. Oh, I remember. Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah. But I was kind of thinking that really, when you're at the seaside, you've got to eat fish and chips, haven't you? Or, I'm using the term generally. You've got to have food from the fish and chip shop. And I was talking about that today to Paul and his brother. I've never eaten at what is reputed to be the best chip shop in Llandudno, which is the tram stop chippy or whatever it's called. It's adjacent to the tram station in town, the bottom station. So I think, to be fair, I think at the seaside it's got to be fish and chips, hasn't it? Hasn't it? It's just kind of got to be. It's part of the doings. But anyway, we can discuss that. Oh, people are sending a bit of love to Barry. Oh, bless him. Stay strong. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. So sorry you're going through this shit. Best wishes. We're here for you. Sending you a manly embrace. Fucking Boaty, I bung him a tenner and he puts the heating in. You did earlier on tonight, didn't you? Threw me at first because I forgot what your real name was. But thank you very much for that. The old channel membership equivalent-y, donation-y type thing. It's bloody cold here in my defence. I'm freezing my little moobs off. Oh, there we go. There we go. God, that's really nice. That's really nice. And it's nice to think that, assuming that women have the same reaction from having their tuning knobs tuned into Radio Luxembourg, that all that time spent on them probably wasn't wasted. So that's good to know, isn't it? Is there actually any heat? Come on. Oh, yeah, little bit of heat there. That'll be nice. Don't worry, I'll turn them off long before we start eating into that tenner. Crank it up to 22. No, Ross, I cranked it up to 18. 22 is for people a lot less poor than I. 22 indeed. It is cold, says the M11. I was standing waiting for a taxi an hour ago and my nipples were rock hard. Thanks for that. I'm sure I will be fine, says Barry Scrotter, just feeling things tonight. It's going to happen, mate. It's going to happen. And when you have to be strong for your family and your missus and your kids and all of that, and you have to be stoic, then, you're human. You're not a robot. We've all got to have an outlet for our emotions somewhere. And that means that if you have to be stoic and if you have to put face on and you have to be the man and you have to deal with it, and I don't mean that in a sexist way. I know that sometimes women have to be metaphorically the man. If you have to be the strong one, and deal with things, then you still need that little bit of private time to fall apart. Because if you don't, it gets stored up in the old recycle bin or wastegate or dump valve or whatever it is. And if it doesn't get dumped or waste valved or the recycle bin doesn't get emptied, then it all flows out and poisons you. So feel it, embrace the. I mean, that's part of grieving, isn't it? I don't think that you truly grieve unless you literally grieve. You know, if you're just strong and say these things happen and you know, death comes to us all or anything like that, or and if you, I I worried about my father. My father wasn't able to shed a tear for either of his parents, and I mean he wasn't a healthy man mentally, anyway. But that was that was kind of indicative of that, you know. That you need to be able to grieve. Things are going to hit you in life. And I believe that in order to move forward in as healthy a way as you can, you need to go through the process. And that means acceptance, um, and then grief. There has to be grief. If you have a connection with somebody or something, um, and it ends, certainly if it ends prematurely, then there should be grief. There should be grief. And, you know, I get that there's a time and a place. And I get that if you've got, you know, if you've got children, they don't need to see a parent or a parent figure totally losing the plot. So I get that you have to do that. I've had to do it. I mean, as you know, I've buried my entire family, and yeah, I each of those occasions I've had to be the strong one. I've had to be the one who organised things, etc., etc., etc. So you know, I get that you have to do the public front bit, but you know, you have to have that private time, or with friends, or with family, or in a space like this where you do have your little bit of a fall apart, and you say it's horrible and I hate it, and I can't deal with it right at this moment, and it's not fair. We all need to be able to have a good cry and say that life isn't fair, because it's not. Life is inherently unfair. Um, and we need to be able to do that. And but with that sense of release, you get that sense of release when you go through that, and you get the acceptance, and you've allowed yourself to understand how sad you are, how unhappy you are, how you can't deal with it. It's so sad and so unfair. And then somehow, and you grieve, you properly grieve. And then somehow, imperceptibly, gradually, the hurt lessens, and you can move on. You never completely forget, but you can move on, and you can move on without guilt or regret, because you had that grieving process. Um, you know, let your feelings out, because if you repress things, there'll come a time when you can't put that right, and that's going to hurt, you know. And when you or somebody else turns their face to the wall and takes that last, then don't let that be the time when you say, "Oh, I wish I told them I loved them," or "I wish I'd allowed myself to be a bit more sad," because it sucks that that happened. So don't repress your feelings. Channel them into an appropriate time and place by all means, but don't repress them, and don't beat yourself up for feeling them. It's normal, it's healthy. Don't worry about it. Just let yourself be as sad as you need to be, Let yourself feel as helpless as you need to feel. But always know at the back of your mind that for as long as you're allowed to, life will go on and you will make sense of it and keep your head above water and keep those that you care for, you'll keep their head above water as well. But nobody's saying it's easy. God knows it isn't. Oh, excuse me. I made a chicken fajita roll up for supper, says Barry. Very nice it was too. Ah, I'm trying to think if I've ever had a fajita. I think the firstborn used to make them. That's like a tortilla wrap, chicken and pepper and onion in spices, something like that. And you wrap it up in the tortilla, and is that the thing? Uh, Chicken drumsticks and salad today, says Peter P. Steve KG, who never holds back. I had a whole chicken. That's the ticket. Don't ask about. Just have a whole chicken. Probably nothing else. Just one chicken on a plate. Maybe with eggs. Mr. Stephen Paddy from Port Sunlight in the Whittle, the Leisure Peninsula. How's your day been, Jason? I don't need my heating up. What's the temperature? Oh, well, 19.4. Yeah, you're all right. And how are Neil and Sophie? I don't know. Haven't heard anything today. Hopefully, they're having far too much fun to be talking to us. 19.4. Well, yeah, you certainly don't need heating. Mine was 16. I've only whacked the thermostat up to 18. 19.4. God, that's Caribbean, isn't it? But Barry goes on. Now, the plus side. We could potentially inherit a Vauxhall Mocha. I would rather the old chap stayed alive. VW is only in this house. I don't know what a Vauxhall Mocha is. Oh, or do I? Is it like a compact? Oh, maybe I do know. One of those modern type compact SUV type of things. The type of thing actually that started in 1997 with the Land Rover Freelander, if I've got my head on right, and I'm thinking about that. I had a curry homemade. Well, at least I will have when I get around to eating it, says Barry. Uh, oh, you spoiled it by saying what your nan cooked. Oh, okay. Well, my grandmother was my paternal grandmother. She was the cook. Um, have I missed a comment here? People are saying to Andrew, and oh yeah, I did. I apologise. Um, right, okay, Andrew, Ivor, Spotty Butty. Mum's been in hospital since early March. I remember. My brother and I have had a very tough decision to place Mum. Oh, in respite stroke aged care. Aged care. We have a meeting with the doc on Tuesday. Oh God. Oh, more stuff to. Oh, Andrew, mate, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Dear me. It's true, isn't it? It's all around all of us, this sort of thing. Sorry, I'm just looking at what my ping was. No, I'm not sure. And it's always somebody's turn to have to deal with something like that, isn't it? Oh, yeah, of course can, Soph. Of course can, Soph, if you want to. Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, let me get my doing that so I can. Oh, here we go. No sooner said than done. Hang on.
Boaty.
Oh, hello. There we are. Let's just get you into place. Hello, my lovely. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm grand. Battling on.
Are you still on live?
Yeah. You're on.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me, Neil. We wish you all the best and hello.
Have you got a ring on your finger yet?
No, we've got to wait till we come back because there was a story about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've got to wait till we come back because it's probably better than we come back, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
we're having a great time. We're having absolutely. It's been a bit dull today. The weather.
Okay.
It was thunder. Was it raining or thundering this morning? It was raining and thundering at 4:00 this morning.
Oh dear.
We literally was bummed up with the bug of the heaters because in the aircon of the hotels, they give you like this really like dry throat and really bad cold.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Neil, we've literally been up all night and we've literally, especially Neil, he thought he had to go to the Spain hospital because he was that bad. But luckily he's all right. He's still here.
Oh, that's good.
He's still alive.
I've spent a bit of time in Spanish hospitals, not myself, but with my mum on the road trips when she was supposed to be dead, and she insisted on going on a road trip instead. And
there was an old lady when we was at the club. She had sort of blood sugar, heart murmur, and she was really bad. And we all had to like see if she was okay, and the ambulance turned up, but she didn't want to go in the ambulance and get checked out or go to the hospital because apparently she was living in the same hotel for, was it 38 years? 39 years they've been going to a hotel.
bloody hell.
Yeah, so, but she was okay. She had plenty of water. We've had a great time. Neil and Henry have been on the karaoke again, guys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they've been on the karaoke. They've had a few beers.
Oh, well, has to be done. How has the food been?
What did you say?
How has the food been? What have you been eating?
The food's been fine. There's paella, there's fish, there's chips, there's like potato, like little potato balls, salad. There's, I can't think what else. There's quite a lot of things.
What about breakfast? What are you having for breakfast?
So for breakfast, you can have the choice of so pastry. So you've got like scones. You've got donuts. You've got toast. You've got jam. You've got what else have we got? Beans. You got Neil's like, you don't have to do the list. Beans, bacon.
Oh, so
sausages.
Oh, right. So you can have your full
all
English
the
if
easy
you
stuff
want.
That we have at home, basically, but it's not the same food every day, so we kind of get fed up of it, especially for tea time.
Yeah.
But it's not been that bad this year, so it's been quite good. But we've been to, we've had an Indian.
Oh.
And the Indian is amazing. I had, what did I have, Brad? A Boaty. And I shared some rice with Neil. Awesome. Neil had, what did Neil have? Madras.
Oh, brave boy.
And what did Henry have? And then Henry had the same as Neil. So we've literally had quite a lot of good takeaways. We've had barbecue. The boys had barbecue ribs at was it LA Diner? And then I had a chicken wrap.
Awesome. How is your hotel room?
It's lovely. It's decent. There's a mirror in the living room. There's a TV, but we forgot the Netflix stick, so we keep forgetting that every year.
Oh,
So
well,
we haven't really had the TV because we've been quite a lot. We're more out than usual.
so you should be. No point in being on holiday and spending all the time watching telly. You can do it. You can do that at home, can't you?
Exactly, that's the thing. And we've got a little mini fridge, so we stock up on water because you've got to have quite a lot of water over here because of the heat. The heat's quite humid and warm.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely been perfect. But when Neil did that surprise, which everyone obviously knows now,
Yeah.
obviously it was just a shock. Like, we went for a walk and he just popped the question, and it was like, didn't expect it, to be honest.
Did you really not?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's nice.
But I did say to him, because I knew there was quite a little cheeky smile on his face. I says, you were speaking to Boaty about this a good couple of days ago, weren't you? And he went, yeah. So I knew a little bit of a hint, but I'm all right.
Yeah. Listen, make sure that he gets you down to the jewellery quarter when you get back. And,
don't worry, we'll sort it out.
Don't go down H. Samuel's or anything like that. Get yourselves down to the jewellery quarter in Brum, and
his face looked like yeah, that wasn't a good thing. He doesn't really like Birmingham that lot.
Yeah, but the jewellery quarter, you'll get so much more for your money. And
we don't do Birmingham on this channel, Boaty, you said.
You have to for the jewellery quarter. That's now when I got engaged, we went down to the jewellery quarter, had a mooch round, found our favourite manufacturer, and then Maggie chose. They told her what to look for, and they gave her all of the doings, and she chose her own diamond to go into her engagement ring, and then they made a unique engagement ring for her, and then we both chose our wedding rings, and they were made just bespoke for us, and it didn't cost any more than getting a decent ring from a high street jeweler, but it's a lot more personal and more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we have also been to Kathmandu as well, which is a cookie house, which has a pool table, and it has it's like kind of a house, but obviously tilted.
Okay.
So it's been basically it's upside down. Neil's put me right on that one.
Right. Sounds fun.
No, it's been absolutely amazing. It's quite sad that it's going to be our last week this week, but we're going to just take the most of it and then come back home. And then Neil just said today with Henry, he was like, we've got to get back on the AA runs.
Yeah, but you know, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is when you get back, book the next thing. So you've got something to look forward to and you know what you're working towards. So when you go out in the middle of the night and you're wet or you're cold or you're tired, you know what you're doing it for and you've got something to look forward to. Or in your case, bugger the holiday. You've
doing swimming tomorrow, so there's a lot going on tomorrow. So we've got to get up quite early. So I'm going to cut it short because we've got to go to bed.
Okay, darling.
1 o'clock over here. So we send our love, and we thank you all for congratulating us, and we will look forward to seeing you when we get back home.
Oh, bless you. Sleep tight. Have a great day tomorrow.
Bye. Good night, everyone. Good night, Boaty.
Bye, love.
Bye.
Love, Neil. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? That was nice. That was nice. Right, let's... God, look at the time. Look at the time. Time to say good night, darlings. It's flown by again, hasn't it? And there's stuff that... Oh, let me turn the microphone the right way around. There's stuff that I'm not going to be able to tell you, but watch tomorrow's daily diary, and that will bring you up to speed on all of the various doings. Oh, bless them! I'm so glad they phoned in. It's very sweet of them. I mean, it's 1:30 where they are, and they've got to get up in the morning. Right, let's play through these comments and then let's get our staff curry down our necks and get into our lovely bed, shall we? And then we've got Sunday to look forward to. Oh, Sunday lunch, can't beat it. Now then, oh, of course, yeah, Andrew. Sad news from Andrew, yeah. Oh dear. Fuck off, Boaty. Toby Carvery isn't that bad, says Barry Scratter. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh, John Stoodley popped in. Hey, chat. Hey, Boaty. I'm still not feeling too well at present. Still feeling very unwell. I've got no energy. Feel dizzy and sick. John, it's no surprise. I mean, you know, you're dealing with cancer at the end of the day, and you know, there's the brain tumor and the TIAs and whatnot as well. Of course, you know. Of course, you're not going to be feeling totally chipper, but hopefully you're keeping your head above water and fighting the good fight. And hopefully treatment is going well and we're on a positive journey here. That's the hope. I have a great idea for a Scampy Fries pic, says Steve KG, but I'm not sure I'm brave enough. Yeah, well, if you are, send it to Emma, not to me. I don't want to see that. Thank you. Oh, but Emma says, do it, Steve. I beg you. There you go. There you go. Oh, Andrew. Oh, right. Yeah, that's a hard thing to do, isn't it? It's a hard thing to do, to hand the care over to third parties. It feels like you're letting your mum down, but yeah. The M11 says a lot of people on the chat tonight are going through some crap. The M11 sends her own special brand of love and care to you all, which is just a lovely thing to say. Well said, Emma. And I echo that. I send all of my love to all of you going through anything. And I'm pretty sure that, in fact, I know that the same is true of every single person here in the community. And yeah. Don't feel ashamed, don't feel guilty, certainly not here, and don't put on a brave face, not with us. We've all been through it. I've lost the plot in front of you guys before now. It's okay. It's healthy. You need to do it. Just cracked a beer, says Steve KG. Cheers and all the best to everyone having a bad time. Here, here. Yeah. Look, keep your chins up, everybody. Cheers to you all, especially those of you having a bad time. Or those who are having a bad time because those that you love are having a bad time. Or there we are. Have they found Michael Mosley? No, Ross, no. The search goes on, but it's not looking good, is it? I mean, he went missing on Wednesday, late on Wednesday. It's now Saturday. It's not a huge island. The family say that they're staying positive and they won't give up hope, but really, it's not looking great. I love Blackpool Pleasure Beach, says Barry. Well, of course you do. It's everybody does. Well, everybody with any sense. I really enjoy people watching too, says M11. My ex-best friend who turned out to be mental and I used to have so much fun people watching together. Oh dear. Neil, says Peter P, listen to Boaty's advice and do the opposite. And Neil had said that I'm really selling this marriage thing to him. Barry Scratcher says, when I married my wife, the reception consisted of going to a Toby Carvery. My mate Chris Wood was golden on that day. Oh dear. Oh, I can't show this comment. YouTube won't let me show it. It's deemed as too awful. Oh dear. Sadly, I can't show you that one. Ross says, has anyone else been in their car and tried to time people walking to your radio tunes? When it works, it's quite funny. We didn't get any toasters as wedding gifts, P2P, amazingly. Oh, I would have loved a teas made, never had one. I'm going to have to skim through these, darlings. It's kind of time to go. Oh, thanks, Jimmy. Boaty, you've got 10 years if you're lucky. Why does playing Bright Eyes make you cry? That is true. That is totally true. For anybody of my generation who watched Watership Down as a child, you cannot listen to Bright Eyes without crying. I guarantee it. Absolutely. I miss a nice English country pub with an open fire with some Guinness, says Ross. Oh, the train on Tuesday is at 16:49. Oh, we can do a Land Rover luncheon. We'll go out and we'll do an outdoor cook. I'll take you up the Longstone Edge. Fish and chips, donuts, and candy floss. God, how far am I behind on the comments? Dear oh dear. I'm going to skim through them, darlings. Forgive me. Forgive me. You will all have read them. You will all have read them, of course. So they're not wasted. Oh, and it was just the chicken stew, G. I'm not surprised. Oh, Andrew, all the love, mate. All the love. God, there are loads. Just diddly do. Oh, Matron popped in. Matron popped in. Just popping in to say me and Emma did a fantastic rendition of Barry's shit peas today, and also have our own embryonic shanty called Don't Choke Your Chicken in the Hallway, Mr. Green, which I hope she will unveil on Monday for you all. Ah. Boaty, I'm on the way. I need a hug. Open the front door, let me in. Anytime, mate. Anytime. Just let me know when you're coming, and the door will be unlocked. Same goes for any of you. And Emma says, that's fine. Just leave some Boaty for me. Right, that's it, darlings. I'm sorry for skimming through the comments. I'm really tired. There's loads of stuff I was going to talk to you about tonight, but more important stuff came up. And but I think we all need to get off. It's that time of night, isn't it? Thank you, Sophie and Neil, for staying awake and tuning in and ringing in to bring us up to speed. Look, my heart and all the love goes out to any and all of you who are dealing with things that nobody should really have to deal with, but we all kind of do. And thank you for your company tonight. It's been, I don't want to say it's been lovely when there's been a bit of sadness in there, but I love the fact that this thing is here. And, you know, it's just a place where we can be happy or sad or silly or whatever. And it's hopefully a little oasis in the day for all of us. God knows, me most of all. And on that note, yeah, I'm going to say good night. I'm going to get off, get my supper. So what day is it? Saturday, Sunday tomorrow. So 11 o'clock tomorrow night, darlings. Back to the old 11 o'clock clack. And I hope that you all have the best day that you possibly can tomorrow. If it's night time for you now, then please have a safe and peaceful night. When it comes, have the best day ahead that you can. Grab any bit of joy wherever you can. And if you need to be strong, then I wish you all of the strength that you need. And much, much love from me. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock. And on that note, thank you again for tune and, of course,